Hello. Isn't this woods amazing? It really makes me think of God's creation, and I think you've probably just been thinking about that story, about how God made heaven and earth and the sun and the moon and the stars and the land and the sea and the plants and the animals and Adam and Eve. And there they all were in the Garden of Eden. And God would walk with Adam and Eve in the garden in the evenings and chat with them and just spend time with them. He loved spending time with them. And he said to Adam and Eve, "You can eat the fruit from any of these trees I've made, except for one, the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. You must never eat the fruit from that tree." And so time went on, and one day Eve was walking in the forest when suddenly she came across a creature she hadn't really seen before. A serpent. "Hello," said the serpent. Now the serpent was really like the devil who'd come into the garden disguised as a serpent. And he immediately started to talk to Eve. "Has God told you you cannot eat the fruit of the trees?" "No," said Eve. "We can eat the fruit of any of the trees except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. God says if we eat that, we will surely die." "You will not surely die. This fruit is good to eat, and if you eat it, you will have lots of knowledge. You will be rather like God." "Would I? Would we?" "Yes," said the snake. And, well, Eve looked at the fruit and thought, well, it does look really nice. It does look good to eat. And so she took a piece of fruit and she shared it with Adam, and they both ate the fruit and thought it was good. But as soon as they ate it, they suddenly realised that they were naked. "Yes, you are." And so they started to pick leaves and cover themselves with the leaves, and they felt really ashamed that they were naked. And then, as always, God came walking in the garden in the evening and said, "Adam, Eve, where are you? Adam, Eve." Well, they were hiding because they felt so ashamed. And God realized what had happened. "Adam, Eve, have you eaten the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and bad?" "Yes," they said. And then they started to blame one another. Adam said, "Eve made me do it." And Eve said, "The serpent made me do it." And God was very, very angry because they had gone against God's will. And God said, "You have to leave my garden now. You will not walk with me in the garden anymore. Your life will be much harder now. You will have to make your own way in the world." And God sent them from the garden. But God had a much bigger plan. He longs to have us in that relationship with him again. And so God sent Jesus. And Jesus made things new, made our relationship with God new. But that's another story for another day. Thank you for joining me today. This story is called The Fall, and it's about how we fell out of favour with God by disobeying what God said. But Jesus came to change that story. Thank you for listening. Bye.